things first, I want to share a big milestone achievement. We're going to have very soon 100,000 followers on Twitter. And I want to thank every single one of you for following me on Twitter, for engaging with my content. It really means a lot. And reaching 100K on Twitter is absolutely insane. That's a crazy number. I'm also going to be thinking about some sort of celebration or giveaway once we hit that milestone. So stay tuned for that. Be subscribed and be also active, and comment on the videos. Share me your constructive feedback. What do you think I can do better, I can do different? What type of content you want to see, both on Twitter and on YouTube. Also here, I just wanted to share that with you as well. We're growing massively on YouTube, 45,000 almost. And you can really see here in October, we were at 32K. But then obviously here after the crypto banter appearance, there was a huge boost in engagement and in visibility. Big shout out to the banter fam and Ran for having me on the channel. And you can see ever since then, it's just up only. So I also want to talk briefly about Oraichain. Some of you have said yesterday in my video that everything is paused, it's broken, it doesn't work. Guys, this is testnet. There's no fees. People are airdrop farming. Hundreds of thousands of accounts, probably millions of wallets with automated bots. This is just being bombarded. Jacob really nailed it here with this tweet saying Oraichain is real. Only real chains have problems. And that's really true, right? So give them time to fix it and then just try it again, right? And that's it. The hot narrative for 2024 that I believe is going to have 1 or 2 seasons and cycles for itself, which means that all media, all crypto Twitter, everyone will talk about it and they will all ask, what's the coin in the Cosmos ecosystem that fits into that narrative? What's the coin in the Solana ecosystem that fits into that? And then if you pair this meta narrative with a crypto ecosystem narrative, those are really the coins that will exponentially grow and make massive mad gains. So what is that narrative? That narrative is, of course, artificial intelligence, AI. And in Cosmos, we luckily have a lot of great contenders in that field, which I want to talk about in today's video very briefly. The first project on my list today is Fetch AI. And Fetch AI, in my opinion, is doing 2 things extremely well. The first thing is that they really have a strong focus on the actual industry, of artificial intelligence. Because what you mostly see in crypto is that people just try to jump on a certain narrative bandwagon just so that their coin pumps, because they're kind of affiliating themselves with that without necessarily having the qualifications within the team that basically justifies for the coin to have such valuations and being a top contender in that narrative, in that vertical. Fetch AI is the opposite. They have a very strong team. I actually did an interview with Humayun here on this channel a couple of months ago, and I was really impressed that he's not necessarily a crypto bro, right? He's an AI expert, a true AI expert that knows his stuff. And it was very interesting to talk with him about their AI agents, the Fetch AI platform, about ChatGPT, also the broader kind of non-crypto AI advancements. And if you're unfamiliar with Fetch, what they're actually doing is that they're building an AI platform and service that lets anyone create their own AI agents to automate their tasks in whatever field they're in, right? And AI touches upon really the automotive industry, social media, the way we communicate, any sort of optimization process, and every industry basically under the sun. Now, the second thing that they did really well, in my view, is that they focus really on enterprise adoption and really building actual real-world use cases. For example, they have a partnership with Skyscanner, where Fetch AI agents can help find the cheapest and best routes and prices for your travels. They also have a collaboration with Bosch, and they have that collaboration actually since 2019. They also became R&D partners in 2021, and they also jointly formed and co-founded the Fetch AI Foundation in 2023 to work on AI and blockchain use cases for mobility, industrial and consumer verticals. So that really means that this is not just this kind of medium article announcement of a partnership. This is an actual sophisticated collaborative effort. And I've personally also had multiple calls with Bosch and also was surprised to hear that they're so deep into this, right? And they're actually building these pilot projects. This is not just an article or a blog post announcement. This is an actual substantial partnership. However, they also have focus on and partnerships with crypto ecosystems, right? For example, Ocean Protocol, which is a data ecosystem provider to develop business intelligence on chain, and also Peak, which is a multi-chain layer 1 blockchain optimized for deepen decentralized physical infrastructure networks. The tokenomics around FED are interesting because FED actually launched on the Ethereum mainnet, on the Ethereum network, but later was migrated to their own Cosmos app chain. The current supply is around 1,043,000,000 tokens. And inflation rate is set currently at 3%, and the staking rewards at roughly 9.5%. With Cryptocito, we're also running a node over at FetchAI, so you can also delegate your coins to us over there. The team and foundation VC tokens are fully unlocked, which means there's no big sell pressure coming from early backers. So FetchAI really is one of the best AI plays in Cosmos, and with it also in all crypto, because it's so big and so successful already. Secondly, we have Akash Network, the unstoppable super cloud. Akash is basically an Airbnb for cloud computing. It is an open source and decentralized super cloud that lets users buy and sell computing resources. Their applications and partnerships include a lot of projects that you are also familiar with. For example, Osmosis. The Osmosis front end is running on Akash. Rango also hosts their DEX on Akash, Osmosis APIs as well. Then also games like Strange Clan and Passage, the metaverse project in Cosmos. I talked about this a lot here on this channel, are also powered by Akash. Also, you can rent GPUs to run machine learning and AI models. So Akash is also building this GPU marketplace, or you can also use Akash to mine proof of work coins. So there's a vast variety of use cases in Akash Network, and it is also one of the few projects that is crypto native, but has real world use cases and strong product market fit in the real world, actually trying to disrupt a real industry. Now, we can also look at some of the statistics right here. Currently, the price of Akash is at roughly $3, making it a 670 million fully diluted market cap, ranked 106 on CoinGecko. I think this is easy a top 40, 50 coin in the bull run once the AI narrative and AI hype really breaks out. And you can also see here all the summaries around their network, their leases, their actual usage, on-chain usage, how much AKT has been spent all around the tokenomics and economics, the compute resources that have been leased, how is that being used, and also about the chain itself, right? How much is in the community, what's the staking APR, the inflation, and so on and so forth. And if you're wondering why Akash is most likely going to succeed, it's because they're just beyond competitive, right? This is just, they're playing their own league. It's just a different league if you look at the numbers here, right? If you compare it to AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure, you can see that Akash is just much cheaper and more efficient. The only bottleneck on obviously AWS, those are like huge companies with hundreds of thousands of employees and developers, and Akash is just the underdog here, obviously, compared to those. But I think if Akash really remains performant and massively scales performance and actually becomes a competitor also to the UX, to the user experience for these products with the big dogs, this is a serious competitor, right? And I really loved also the long-term vision from Greg Azuri. Similar to Humayun, I think Greg is also an expert in that field, right? And that's really what you want. If you bet on any of those narratives, you really want the leader, the key figure in that ecosystem, in that project, to be also an expert in that field with ideally years or even decades of experience, right? I also think that, with the rise of proof of stake and also just broader the rise of validators, I think this is also a strong use case within the crypto ecosystem for Akash Network to actually get a lot of adoption within crypto. If we look at the tokenomics of AKT, AKT is used to pay rent, to secure the chain, and to participate in governance. I think FED actually has a very similar utility for their FED token. The current circulating supply is 222 million tokens. The max supply is 388 million. And the current inflation, you saw it, is actually around 13%. And the staking APR is around that as well. All AKT tokens have been unlocked. And with the 2.0 tokenomics update, users can also now pay in stable coins when renting the Akash service. They also implemented a taker and maker fee to accrue value to the AKT token and a burn mechanism to make AKT more deflationary. Now, there are 5 more projects in that field, in that vertical of AI, which I briefly want to bring on your radar, and then you can do your own research from there. Bostrom, Boot, which is something we've been covering on this channel for a long, long time. We are actually the first ones to do an interview with Master Cyber, the legendary interview. Shirtless, he came on my channel. We also actually launched the Bostrom mainnet during Cosmoverse 1 in Lisbon, 2021. We launched a mainnet during the conference. They had a speaking slot reserved for that. There was a lot of coordination efforts, but very, very cool. So the genesis for Bostrom was during the first Cosmoverse, absolutely legendary. And I think it's a project that is very hard to understand. I think also they take a very unconventional pathway to not go the route of, you know, being super active on Twitter, building the community, doing a lot of podcast appearances and all these things. I think they're just so deep into the AI space. I actually did an interview with Master also recently, where I went to visit him in Bali on his island where he's living. Absolutely amazing guy. And he's just so, so deep, absolute OG in crypto. And he knows his stuff. That's just what you can say. So this is the super intelligent platform Bostrom. And you can also see it's not really user-friendly, and you don't really know what you're doing here, right? You have to really dig deep into the project to really understand what this is all about. But it is a decentralized AI project. And I think once they build a clear use case that kind of also fits and lines up with the AI hype that's inevitably going to come, that's going to be really, really big. Next up, we have Oraichain, which is an IBC-enabled chain that focuses on providing trustworthy data for AI and Web3 applications. So they're building an AI oracle, which is also really interesting. Their token is also live already. So this is something you can check out right now. I think they have roughly a $60 million valuation. And yeah, this is a project I personally haven't done a deep dive into it, simply because it's so many projects to keep track of. And as you see on my channel, we've been covering the creation of the interchain ever since IBC went live, before IBC went live even. And now it's just getting out of hand, right? But it's amazing to see Oraichain AI is there, that they're building also in the AI space. And I think this could also be an interesting AI play for 2024. Next up, we have Cudos, which is actually very similar to Akash, but it's also very different. So while Akash is focused on building a cloud compute marketplace, Cudos actually focuses on providing cloud computing resources, and hence also fits into the DePIN narrative and of course also the AI narrative. So they're really one of the infrastructure projects behind the scenes. And I think this is also a very interesting project. I actually know the team for a long time. I just didn't get the chance, similar here, to fully do a deep dive. It's just so many projects to keep track of, but it is very interesting. And I think that's definitely one that you can also put on your watch list, where you can also look into it and yeah, do your research from here. Let me know what you find super interesting about it. They have a lot of partnerships, integrations, and yeah. And lastly, we have Humans AI, which is a project that I, to be honest, have not really done any research on because it's just never been really on my radar. But I saw it on MintScan that this project, humans.ai, with the Hearts token, is built on Cosmos. And what they're actually focused on and what they're building is AI predominantly for media and also for kind of translations, speak in any language, clone yourself, expand your knowledge, which is also something we're doing currently with a Web2 provider for Cryptocito in Spanish, Cryptocito en Español. So this is working, this technology, and Humans wants to do it for in a decentralized way built on Cosmos, right? So it is the blockchain of AIs, the AI verse. And I actually really like their website here, to be honest. I don't really know much about the team, to be quite honest. I've never heard about them. I never talked with them, but maybe also something to do your research on, right? The token is live, 8.7% inflation here. You can stake it. And yeah, it has a 57.57 million supply. And it's also one of those narratives, right? And like I said, I really like the website here. It looks really cool. But yeah, let me know if you have done any research on this project. AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be a big narrative this year in any way, shape, or form. And there will be a pump in the Cosmos ecosystem because Cosmos is also narrative, right? So you have two narratives clashing together, merging together. And I think that could cause really explosive growth potentials for this sector in this ecosystem. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe and be good.